regards to team use. Obviously, Harvey Elliott has picked up that injury. How disappointing is that for him, and how long is he looking at? At the same time, is Chiesa now ready to come in and impact the squad for you as well?
They always have one question, and that's why they ask two in one. Javi is, of course, a big disappointment for him, but not only for him, also for us, because okay, he didn't play that much in the first 3 games, but he played a lot in preseason, and he showed himself really well. So, of course, when he stayed fit, he would have had a lot of playing time in the upcoming fixtures. But now he isn't, and that also gives a chance to someone else. So it's first and foremost a blow for himself, and in the end also for us, because I think availability is important in the phase of the season where we play 7 games in 22 days, I think. So it's a blow for the both of us, but he will work as hard as always to come back in the best possible way. And then Federico has trained with the team now 3 or 4 times. So let's see how he does today and which decision I make, because we have more than 20 players. So if I choose for a position or if I choose the ones that are the fittest at the moment.
During the international break,
Trained with the team now 3 or 4 times.
Saying that he wants first team football and will have to look elsewhere. How do you deal with a situation like that, where a member of the squad is effectively unsettled because he wants that opportunity for first team football?
I would be really worried if a player comes out saying, I don't care about playing first team football. I like it so much on the bench. I want to stay there for the rest of my life. That would be a bigger worry for me. So it's normal that they want to play, but it's also normal that a club like this that tries to compete for trophies has more than 11 players that can play. And as long as they accept their situation, not accepting in a way, I don't care that I'm not playing, but accepting it by helping the team whenever they have to, then it's a close place to be in. And I think Cruyff has shown many times in the past few years, and even in preseason, that he's every time ready when we need him. So it's a good thing that he wants to play. And who knows, he's going to play for us in the future. At this moment, I think it's also quite clear that Alisson is the number one. But last season he played many games, so normal situation for a player to be in if you're not playing, that you want to play, but he handles the situation really well.
3 wins to start the season without conceding, which doesn't happen too often. It seems a big factor in that has been the form of Ryan Gravenberch. What has really made the difference, and what work has he had to put into, I suppose, learn that position?
Yeah, I learned that position. He's been a midfielder all his life, and maybe he's playing a bit deeper is the English word, I think, a bit lower, deeper than he did before, but it's not that much of a difference. I think he, like the other ones who do really well, benefit from how the team is playing. And Ryan came back strong, like many others, and strong, I mean, that he was really fit, played some good games and took his chance. But I think in general, like the others who score goals, and we are talking about the benefits also from the team structure.
Trust as well, though? Trust in you?
Yeah, if trust means that you play him, then I trust him. But I also trust the ones that I'm not playing. So I think it's always the most easy argument to give. Yeah, you give him trust. That's why he plays good. If it was that simple, I would have thrown my trust to every player. But we're going to go out to the training ground, hoping to prepare them in the best possible way. I believe more in this than in the word trust. But if he trusts his teammates, if he trusts the structure, then and the way we play, that will help, of course. Yeah.
Pleasure. Given the international break after the 3 games that you'd had and such a great start, is there any concern that the momentum that you built up there might be interrupted because of that?
That's always the questions after 2 weeks. But if you saw them playing with the national teams, I think the momentum is still there for the individual. Now, let's see if they come back together, if they can play the same way as they did in the last few games. But it also depends on the opponent you face. So sometimes they make it more difficult for you, or than in other situations. So, of course, we look at ourselves a lot, but you also have to relate it to the team you face. And Nottingham Forest hasn't lost this season yet. I think they won the last 2 games of last season. So they're in a good place as well. So it's going to be a tough one and an interesting one to look forward to.
And in terms of the defence, not having conceded a goal so far, how much work did you initially think that you needed to do on that when you first arrived? Was that one of your top priorities when you got here?
Yeah, to tell them exactly what the opposite of what you are saying. The defense is keeping a clean sheet. In my opinion, it's not the defense who keep a clean sheet. It's 11 players who keep a clean sheet, and that's why we try to convince them constantly about this. Because in an ideal world, we don't need Alisson, but that ideal world is still not there, because against United we needed him a few times. Against Brentford we needed him one time in particular, and against Ipswich in the first half as well. So it's a team performance that we don't concede, and that has a lot to do with us putting in a lot of work without the ball.
Hi, Arne. In terms of the contract situations of Trent, Virgil and Mohamed Salah, how much of a distraction is it? And would it be better if the situations were resolved quickly?
It's again the boring answer which you're going to get from me, as long as there's no news about this, but we don't talk about contract situations over here. Is it distractive? Is that what you use for me? No, it isn't, because I'm fully focused on the individuals in the team, and they are part of the team, and trying to work with them in the best possible way to get the best out of them. So it's not a distraction for me at all.
Well,
Trent played 2 full games for England over the break, played very well. You've been managing his minutes to start the season. Is that something you'll still continue to do, or do you now see him as adverse to games for England that he can do 90 minutes for you?
Yeah, he proved that he could do 90 minutes, but maybe he could have done that before as well. In the Ipswich game, I saw that he became a bit tired towards the end of the game, but he played 2 games afterwards, so I think he's completely ready to play 90. And sometimes in the beginning it was that I saw he was tired, and sometimes it's also having another player like Conor Bradley who can do the job really well. So he's able to play 90. He showed, like all the others. But I have a whole team to manage and a whole team to prepare for the season, and it's also good for Conor to get his playing minutes, or for the one that comes in for Mo, or the one that comes in for which are the ones that I took off. I don't know exactly. So it's not always you guys, and I understand, try to look always at the individual. I look at the team, and I have to prepare the whole team, the whole squad, for the upcoming fixtures.
Did everyone return okay from Saturday? The less McAllister seems like maybe a little issue.
Yeah, he was out in the last game, but he trained with us yesterday. But of course, the press conference started with a question about Harvey Elliott. He didn't stay fit, unfortunately, so he's out for a longer time. But I'm expecting Maka to be with us tomorrow. No, I don't think anyone else doing. No.
Arne, you've had a very settled team so far, but with this schedule now, with 7 games in the next 3 weeks, do you see that as you're going to have to change in terms of rotating and going to give opportunities to players that haven't had those chances so far this season?
That's something that I decide before every game. So my former teams were able to play. We were actually playing almost every game with the same players, but it's a different league. So I might have to adjust to that, but it also depends on what they show. So and what they show, I mean in terms of physique. In the first 3 games, we were really strong physique, but we only played 1 game each 7 days. Now they have a point to prove. And I assume that they all want to play every game. So if they want to, they have to show up every time. And I don't mean in also in quality, but especially in work rate. But we have more than 11 very good players, so I can use more. But I can't tell you now if I'm going to do so or not. That I'm going to decide before every game that comes up. And I get some feedback from medical staff, performance staff, where they are and what's the best thing to do. And then we make the decision before every game.
Well,
Hi, Anna. Alongside Trent, there was actually 10 of your squad who played 2 full games over this international break. And of all the English teams playing in Europe, no one else had more than 5. Do you accept this as a price of success, or is there a chance maybe you might be having a bit of a quiet word with some of the international managers ahead of
In some situations, I was really happy with the fact that they played 90. So Gerard Kwanzaa I think he played 2 times 90. Costa Tsimikas played 2 times 90. Cody played a lot of minutes. And we were just discussing that I've played in the first 3 games, mostly the same players. Conor Bradley played 2 times 9. So it was, for now, it was a present that I got from most national team coaches. Maybe in the future I would sometimes would love to be a bit different, but it's a positive thing that we are in such a good place that we have 10 players that can play every minute for the national team. It says a lot about the quality we have.
Well done.
Yeah.
Big up, guys. Thank you very much for joining me again. So that was Arne Slot in the press conference there, talking about the upcoming fixtures and the international break and all that. I love the fact that our Arne Slot sounds. He comes off really well. Sounds very professional. Everything he talks about is very thought-provoking. I seem to love the guy more and more. The more I listen to him, man. The more I listen to Arne Slot, the more I start to love the guy. I really do. But guys, big up to everyone here. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. We're just going to have a bit of Liverpool chat. We're going to talk about Virgil van Dijk's contract and things that have been said about Virgil van Dijk. Also, we're going to be talking about Mo Salah as well, because his agent has come out and spoke today as well. So yeah, we'll just go have a chilled hour or so this afternoon, and then be back later tonight to do match predictions for the big game on the weekend. So guys, don't forget to get them likes in, subscribe and share. I have to say one thing before we start, though. My internet, I don't know what it is. I've got an internet cable in my computer, so my internet should be fine. I think it might be StreamYard playing up, because everything else seems to be working smoothly. So if the internet goes, I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah, it keeps going up and down a little bit. But I think it's more StreamYard. I think there's a fault with StreamYard at the moment. So yeah. Big up to Goosed Up in the chat. Says, I think the guy who asked the international questions at the presser is on Carnage channel. Recognise his voice. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. Big up Steve Wilson in chat. Says, it sounds like if the player can keep their fitness and work rate high, they don't get rotated as much. That's why it came across as. Big up Jen in the chat, who just gave away 5 memberships, by the way. Big W's in the chat for Jen, guys. Big W's in the chat for Jen. Let's get W's in the chat for Jen, because that's an amazing thing. Thank you very much, Jen. Appreciate it, and everyone picking up them memberships. Look, the more I listen to Arne Slot, the more I really rate him, or more I really like him. And I just look. Obviously, it's only 3 games gone. We've had a pre-season, we've had a few press conferences. Now we're getting to know our new manager. He comes across really well. I will say that he does come across really well. When he speaks in a press conference, I am glued to what he's saying. I sit there and really listen to his press conferences, like I used to do Jurgen Klopp's as well. So he is very engaging. I like the fact that he's everything team first. He's very team focused. Like when he was talking about the defending, he's just not giving the congratulations to the back 4. He's talking about as a whole team, a whole collective. We defend as a collective, not just the back 4 on their own. So I like these little things, these little nuggets that he puts in there. So yeah, I've got to say I really rate Arne Slot highly at the moment. Obviously, it's only 3 games gone. It's easier to get giddy, as everyone's saying right now, and get excited, because we're 3 games in, 7 goals, none conceded. We got Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth at home, AC Milan away, West Ham, I believe, at home in the League Cup. Or is that away? I can't remember. And then we got Wolves away as well. So all very, very winnable games. There's no doubt about that. All very, very winnable games. So, yeah, it's an easier start to our Premier League season. But the problem is, you still got to win your games. You still got to win your games. You still got to get points on the table. You know, people can have easy games and slip up. You know, that's what the media are telling us now. Oh, Slot's had easy start. what will he be like when he starts losing games and stuff like that? It's like, whoa, you know, teams can lose games against easy opponents. You know, you only have to, lose concentration for a couple of minutes in a match and you lose a game of football. So easy start or not, Arne Slot has really impressed so far. There's no doubt about that. Big up to Jen as well, becoming a member. I think Jen was already a member. Maybe she reactivated the membership. Big up to Jen. Hope you're doing well, and thank you very much, Jen, for the memberships give outs. Appreciate that. Big up, Steve. I worry that his stubbornness to rotate will cause a player breakdown. Alajota, says Steve. It's a good question, Steve. Yeah, let's talk about his rotation policy. So he said there in the press conference, obviously his former clubs are all obviously in the Dutch league, in the Eredivisie. He barely rotated. As he said there, he played a lot of the first 11 every single week. And, Feyenoord were in Europe as well, so he did play European games. And he played the same team most of the time. His fitness record at his clubs are fantastic. I think he's got a very high fitness record at all the clubs he's been at, and the 3 clubs in Holland and the Netherlands, where he's been mostly manager. That his fitness records have been good for them teams. He likes to not rotate as much because he wants to play strongest 11. I think all managers do, to be fair. I think if all managers had a choice, they'd all play their strongest 11 as much as they possibly can because it's your best team. But you do have to rotate. And he made points of it again in that press conference we just listened to there, that he basically said, look, I pretty much played my strongest team at my former clubs, but this is a different league. Pretty much making out that the Premier League is far harder league. It's a more intense league. So you're going to have to rotate. So I expect rotation to be in his team, in his squad, but I don't think he will rotate for the sake of it. I don't think Arne Slot's just going to rotate for the sake of rotating. I think if he feels a player is fit to go and they're perfectly fine, he will play them, because especially if it's one of his better players. I just don't see him him playing, rotating too much unless he needs to. And I think he will do, because the Premier League is a more intense league than the Dutch league. We've got to make that right. And I think Slot knows that as well. I think Slot knows this league is far more intense than the Dutch league. So he's going to have to rotate. You're going up against better teams and better quality. And I've never been a big fan of rotation per se, because I feel like managers sometimes make rotation for no reason, just to seem clever. I feel like if your best 11 is fit and the coaches and the scientists and the medics behind the scenes are saying, no, your player's ready to go, don't worry about it, he doesn't look like he's going to drop it all at any time, then play them players. But if a certain player's in a certain zone and you're not too sure about that player, then don't play him, obviously. And then rotate that player. But other than that, there's no need to rotate if you don't need to. So barring injuries, Nunes will hardly play. Well, when we talk about the match preview later on today, guys, we'll talk about the match preview later on today. And on that match preview, we'll be talking about the Nottingham Forest game. So I won't be talking about too much the Nottingham Forest game right now. But we'll be talking about a bit of that later on today. He's going to rotate and play the bench players and some youth in the FA Cup and League Cup. I agree. I think he not throw away then games. That I'm not going to say that. I don't want to say he's going to throw away then cup games, because that'd be a dismissive point. What I mean by it, and I think what DJ Brains is saying here as well, I think like the League Cup game against West Ham, I think you see a lot of the fringe players playing. I think that's the game Chiesa probably starts in. That'll be his first start in that West Ham game. Cody Gakpo might start in that game. Darwin Núñez might start in that game. Players that haven't been starting games lately might start. I think Curtis Jones will start in that game. I think Trainioni will play in that game. Joe Gomez will play in that game. Kwanzaa will play in that game. Simicast will play in that game. Quentin Kelleher will play in that game. Conor Bradley will play in that game. Then you're keeping your stronger players really fresh. Then you're keeping some of your, like, listen to that squad I just gave out for a League Cup game. And then you got your strength. You know, I'm with DJ Brains as well. I agree we have one of the strongest bench 11 out there. I agree, man. Our bench is decent. But yeah, I won't be talking too much right now about the game tomorrow. I'll be doing that later on tonight, guys. So we'll be chatting about the game later on tonight. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does with rotation on the slot, obviously. You know, he said there in his press conference that he does prefer to keep his strongest 11, but he knows he plays in more intense Premier League now than the Eredivisie. So rotation will have to happen. It will be key, and we see what he does tomorrow. But we'll talk more about the game tonight, guys. I believe I'm 9 p.m. tonight. I think it's 9 p.m. tonight. I'm live again. We'll do the preview then. Let's talk about Mohamed Salah a minute. So, obviously, Mo Salah, coming to the end of his Liverpool contract, at the end of his deal. Before I get to that, Steve says, who is Szoboszlai's back out now that Harvey is hurt? I think we got two players who can play the 10 position. I would say Chiesa and Cody Gakpo. Yeah, with the Curtis one, this is gas. Like, the way we play now under Arne Slot with that double pivot and that 10, we play with a 6 and 8 and a 10. Harvey Elliott can only really play in one position. That's the 10 position. Can't really play deeper down. So because he only can play that 10 position, I would say, I think we got players who can play there. I think you could put Chiesa there. Chiesa obviously played in that position the last couple of seasons. What the hell? That's a hell of a bruise. What the hell? I just noticed that. What the hell is that bruise? Look at that. Stay at that. What the hell happened there? Yeah, I think Chiesa could play in that position. He played there for the last 2 seasons at Juventus. He doesn't love that position, but I think he can cover there. I think Gakpo can cover there. I think Cody Gakpo would give you a more Szoboszlai performance. I think Gakpo would give you a more Szoboszlai performance if he played the 10. You know, he would track back, he would work hard, he would run. I think he'd give you that Szoboszlai-like performance in that 10 position. Yeah, I think that's Curtis Jones for me. I'd rather Curtis Jones playing in a deeper position in that double pivot. That's where Curtis for me plays. So yeah, I'd say I think even Jota could play the 10 position because Jota likes to play from deep positions. He likes to work back, and you know he likes to tackle. He likes to get stuck in. He likes to defend as well. So I think even Jota could play there. So I think that position's okay. I think it would be more damaging if we lost to McAllister or Gravenberch right now. Not that, you know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just saw it on camera when I put my arm up. Yeah, it's a bad bruise. Yeah, like. Jones and Endo and double pivot for FA Cup and League Cup. Yeah, I forgot about Endo as well. We can throw Endo in there. So yeah, the 10 position. I think Szoboszlai that's his position. But if you go rotate Szoboszlai, I mean, you could play Chiesa there, Jota in the 9, Salah on the right, and Diaz on the left, and then they have a double pivot of McAllister and Gravenberch. I mean, that's just mad. That's just absolutely mad. Yeah, Trainioni. The thing with Trey, do you prefer Trey in a deeper position or in that 10? That's a good question, everyone. Where does everyone prefer Trey play? Is he better in an advanced area, in that double pivot area? Because he's a young kid, would he be better playing a little bit more advanced? Because, you know, in that double pivot area, it's about keeping the ball, it's about keeping possession. That's why McAllister and Gravenberch play there. It's about keeping the ball, keeping possession, keeping play. In that 10 position, would you rather Trey just a little bit further up, maybe? Maybe a bit more advanced? Yeah, I'm with Paul. Maybe Trey a little bit more advanced. Spozzo can always drop deeper in the grab role. Yeah, like if we did lose Gravenberch and Szoboszlai was around still, I think Szoboszlai would go in and play alongside McAllister in a double pivot, and then you play a Chiesa or a Gakpo in the 10. So it doesn't really ruin the midfield so much. Yeah, in the advanced. Yeah, definitely in the advanced. Yeah, I agree. I think we'll see Trey a little bit. Van Nistelrooy said Gakpo is only a left winger, hence why he hasn't good, and said Klopp was stupid. I think Gakpo can play in the 10 for a few games though. I see Gakpo being a midfielder eventually later in his life. I really do. That's one thing I've always said. I think he could be a midfielder a bit later on in his life. Yeah, Sean, we just listened to it, man. We just played it live just now. Yeah, he does seem ruthless. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, let me talk about this Mo Salah stuff. So obviously Mo Salah's been like with Virgil and Trent. They got their deals coming at the end of the season. Lot of discourse online about everything, what's going on, what's happening. You know, is he staying? Is he going? Well, Rami Abbas, obviously Mo Salah's agent, has tweeted out. So Rami Abbas, Mo Salah's agent, has tweeted out. He said, FYI, to all the journalists who imply having inside information about Mohamed's future are making claims/posts based on absolutely nothing. Just click whoring, he calls it. Just click whoring, he calls it. Sources close to Mohamed don't exist. This post is really just to tell you they really don't know. So again, that's Rami Abbas, Mo Salah's agent. Basically come out, I'll say it one more time. He says, FYI, all these journalists who are implying they have inside information about Mohamed's future are making claims/posts based on absolutely nothing. And he calls it just click whoring. That's what he calls it. Basically calling them click whores. Big up, Rabbi. Sources close to Mohamed say they don't exist. This post is really just to tell you they don't know. So, Rami, they are Salah's agent, saying basically, you guys talking about Mo Salah. Obviously, we're content creators, so we talk about it because that's our job, and we get our information off these journalists who are basically, in Rabi's opinion, full of shit and have no idea. So all people claiming to be inside sources on the Mohamed Salah stuff. I know this, I know that. Rami, who is I think he's a close friend to Mohamed Salah as well as his agent, has basically said it's all bollocks. Everything's fine at the moment. He's basically telling you when there's something to tell, we'll tell you. And in the meantime, there's nothing to say, so play ball. That's all he's saying, man. So yeah, he's basically he's just basically saying, you know, he basically had to go for Fabrizio. That's basically what he's done there. He's basically had to go. He's had to go about Fabrizio. He's going in on Fabrizio Romano basically. So yeah, Mohamed Salah, nothing's changed at this moment in time. We don't know what's going to happen. I hope he stays. But his agent there saying, look, when there's something to tell, we'll tell you. Until then, don't worry about it. And you got to remember with with Mohamed Salah's last contract renewal, we had all this talk online. He's not going to sign a new deal. It ain't happening. We ain't going to give him 350 grand a year. He's coming into his 30s. All this sort of stuff, yeah. And then I believe his agent said, look, don't believe everything you hear online. When there's something to tell you, we'll tell you. And then bang, in the summer of 2022, signs a new contract. So I don't know if he's going to sign a new deal. I have no idea. But Rabbi, his agent, is basically telling them, everyone, there's no inside information. Just stay calm. When we got something to tell you, we'll tell you. So we just have to wait, guys. We'll have to all wait. All the rest are just clicks are full of S. Yeah, exactly. Joyce and Oystein are the only ones I listen to out there for journos. Yeah. There's a content creator as myself. I'm a Liverpool channel content creator. So everything I do is based on Liverpool Football Club. You know, obviously you got a lot of football YouTubers that do everything. You know, they cover every team in the Premier League and all the news in the Premier League. I just cover Liverpool Football Club. So when I hear news about Liverpool Football Club, I'm going to bring it to you. So if these journalists say this and that, I'm going to do a conversation about it. We talk about it and we debate about it. But yeah, big up Rabbi saying basically, look, till you hear something, don't worry about it. He went in 2-footed. Took him down. If Salah doesn't sign a deal in January, I think he might be leaving. Yeah, I agree. If Salah, Virgil, and Trent's contracts are not sorted before Christmas, I think we've got a major problem. I think we'll have a major problem. So remember, Bobby Firmino again. He had a year left of his deal, and everyone wanted him to stay. I don't think any fan wanted Bobby to go. Was happy keeping him, even part of the squad. Doesn't have to play, but part of the squad at least. And it got to January, got to Christmas time, still not signed a new contract. And then you knew he weren't going to sign one. And he left. So, and then that was Bobby's, Bobby come out and said, I want to leave Liverpool now. I'm finishing. So if these three guys don't sign a deal before Christmas, I think, yeah, it could be quite worrying. I ain't going to lie. I think it'd be quite worrying. But I do think some people, I honestly think Mo Salah signs a new deal. I think Liverpool Football Club see Mohamed Salah as the biggest star at our football club, and they also see him as a world star. You know, not just like a Premier League star. They see him as like a world football superstar, and I think that's why Salah gets his new deal. I'm just not sure about Virgil, who we're going to talk about now. So, Virgil has had these things to say as well. Virgil's not afraid about speaking his mind, as we know about our captain. If you put a microphone in front of him and ask him a question, he's going to answer it. But look, according to some journalists, again, this is according to journalists, and we've already had Mo Salah's agent come out and basically say these journalists know shit all. So we're going to go on this as like with a grain of salt scenario, yeah? So Virgil van Dijk apparently, according to some, is not negotiating with any other club, and his full focus is on Liverpool. In the next weeks/months, he will have conversations with Liverpool. The fact that he's not negotiating with any other team, he wouldn't be able to negotiate with any other team right now anyway, so we'll have to put that at the back burner. I don't know with Virgil. I'm a bit worried about the Virgil stuff, guys, because he is 33 years of age. And I just feel like the club might feel like they can find a new Virgil van Dijk, which is a massive gamble for me. So news also have come out lately as well that Liverpool are expected to target a left-footed centre-back in the next 2 transfer windows, aimed at continuing uncertainty over Virgil van Dijk's future. Now, my thing here is, why is there uncertainty over Virgil van Dijk's future? I've heard Virgil himself say he wants to stay at Liverpool. He's happy at Liverpool. He wants a contract up to the World Cup, and then he wants to think about his future after the World Cup because he'll be 36. So the uncertainty part comes from it. Is it from the club? Is the uncertainty part of this statement coming from the club? Is it coming from the club? Are the club looking at it and going, they're the ones uncertain? Are the club looking at it and thinking, are they mulling it over going, do we give Virgil a new deal? He's 33 going on 34. If we give him a new deal, he's going to be here till he's 36. So him here till he's 36 is... That's what they're going to be looking at. They're going to be looking at how old he will be, not how old he is now. That's the thing when they give out the contracts. They're going to be looking at it and think, if we give him a 2-year deal, he'll accept it, but he's going to be here till he's 36. What do we do with him after that? What do we do? Do we just let him go at 36, which I think you do. You just let him go for a free. I don't know where the uncertainty comes from. For me, I would just sign Mo up, man. Personally, tell me a better centre-back around at the moment at 33. I'll wait. Tell me how many better 33-year-old centre-backs there are in the world right now. I'll wait. I'll sit here. Tell me. Like, literally, how many better 33-year-olds, guys, in the chat? How many better 33, 34-year-old defenders are around the world right now than Virgil van Dijk? It can't be any, surely. So if that's the case, and his fitness levels, as Steve said there, his fitness levels are fantastic. With fitness levels in players these days, 35 to do 30, exactly. And Virgil's only really had that one serious injury when he's at Liverpool, and that was that knee injury. And now he looks like he's over it. I know he had a hamstring injury as well after it, but that knee injury, he's over it. You know, that was 3 years ago now. He's past it. You know, he's past it now. His fitness levels are tremendous. I look at Virgil and I was like, what? Yeah, he's got to sign her. Sign him up, man. Sign him up. Oh, Sean says he's good till he's 35 at least. Exactly. Exactly. Like, there's hardly anyone better, man. There's hardly anyone better. I just look at Virgil. I also think with Virgil, where does Virgil actually want to go? Like, where does Virgil want to go? You know, I think Virgil will still see himself as the best defender around, so he'd want to play for a top club. So that's like maybe an Inter Milan, an AC Milan. I don't know if the Italian teams could afford him, but they'd definitely be interested. Bayern Munich, no doubt about it. PSG, no doubt about it. Real Madrid, Barcelona. I don't know if Barcelona can afford what Virgil would want in a contract. Real Madrid definitely could. Atletico Madrid, maybe. I think they could as well. So there is clubs out there where he could go and just, you know, any top club would want Virgil van Dijk. If Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, you know, Man City, I hate saying it, or, you know, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, PSG, Atletico Madrid. You know, these top clubs knew that Virgil van Dijk was available, even at 33, 34. They'd all want him. Now, all it depends is if certain teams can afford to give him the wages that he might be asking for. As a free transfer, he'd probably want over 300 grand a week as a free transfer. So then it's up to you. Like, can the Italian clubs push that far? I'm not sure. Real Madrid definitely could. PSG definitely could. Bayern Munich definitely could. I think Atletico Madrid even could. See some of the transfer business they've been doing. So he's definitely got people out there he can go to. So yeah, Virgil, it is a worry for me. I think he's very important to our side. He's a presence in our team. He's a presence on the pitch. Obviously, he's captain of our team. He's captain of his national side. He's a leader. He sets the example. Opposition players fear him. That's not liar. Opposition players fear him. Just go and listen to opposition players talk about Virgil van Dijk. Just take a moment in your day to find all the YouTube clips of opposition players talking about Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk has an aura. They fear Virgil van Dijk. He's one of them defenders. They don't want to come up against him. Yeah. Why lose that? Now, why lose that? That's crazy to me. I just don't. I can't get my head around it. I really can't get my head around it. Like, if the rumours are true that Liverpool are expected to target a left-footed centre-back in the next 2 transfer windows, well, that means January and summer. So they're our next 2 transfer windows, the January and summer windows, yeah? They're expecting to look at them too, right? Then they've got to, in my opinion, sign Virgil van Dijk up at the same time and get this left-footed centre-back in the door. And then when Virgil goes in 2 years' time after his new deal, that new centre-back can take Virgil's spot. Sometimes we've got to plan ahead. You know, Liverpool have not done that enough in the previous years of planning ahead. We're too reactionary. If a player leaves, we go and buy a player to change that player. I think in the cases of Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk alone, I won't put Trent in that because we've got Conor Bradley. But with Virgil van Dijk and with Mo Salah, the club can't just let these 2 leave for free. Yeah, we're a club that, let's face it, we are a sell-to-buy club. We make our money. We're not sell-to-buy, but we are self-sustained football club. So we spend the money we make, yeah? Which I'm not going to go down that route, or if it's good or bad, but that's what we do, right? If you let 2 players of Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah go for leave, yes, you're saving, I don't know, 600 grand a week in wages, whatever it is. Fine. But you're making no money for them at the same time. And then you've got to replace Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah next summer. That'd be the big thing. You have to replace them, because I'm not having Chiesa as Mo Salah's replacement, yeah? There's no point having 6 forwards, then going down to 5 forwards. And then I'm not sure if Darwin will be here next season. So Liverpool have got to make sure Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk are signed up for 2 more years. And in them 2 years, you go and find new players. You go and find new players in them 2 years. You know, go and find new players in them 2 years to eventually then take over the positions of the players that are going to leave. You know, I just, that's what this club's got to go and do. Just go and sign up players now. Think about the future, work in advance, get your players in. With Trent, I know Trent's the weird one in all this, because this is going to sound mental. It's going to sound mental, because Trent's a world-class footballer, in my opinion. I don't think I don't think Trent's a world-class right back, but I think Trent's a world-class footballer, if that makes sense to people. I don't know if that makes sense, but Trent's quite an anomaly. He's different. I would say he's a world-class footballer. I wouldn't say he's a world-class right back, but he's a world-class footballer. Trent, at the end of the day, is a defender. Yeah. At the end of the day, Trent is a defender. Yeah. So some news going around is that Trent, let me see if I can find the news about Trent. Right. So apparently Liverpool remain very confident over agreed a new deal for Trent Alexander-Arnold. That is the rumours about Trent going around right now. That the club feel very confident about Trent. He ain't going nowhere. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think Trent goes to Real Madrid, personally. I don't think Trent goes to Real Madrid. But Trent is a world-class footballer. I'm not going. But because Trent's a world-class footballer, Trent will want world-class contract, if that makes sense. Trent will want a world-class contract for a world-class player. But at the end of the day, he is marked down as a defender. That's what a right back is, guys. No matter how good Trent is going forward and how good he is on the ball, he's exceptional. That's what makes him world class. But at the end of the day, his position is a defender. Now, as a right back, he's on 180 grand a week. He's actually one of the highest paid right backs in world football. You know, at 180 grand a week. There's not many more right backs in the world that are paid more than that. There's a few. I think Reece James is actually the highest paid right back in the world at 250 grand a week. I might be wrong there. I don't think there's many more than him. Maybe Kimmich, you know, but Kimmich is mostly playing in midfield. He plays a bit of rotation at right back as well. So there ain't many on more money than Trent already at right back. But Trent's a world-class talent. His agent is going, no, look, Trent's agent, I believe, is his brother. And if his family look after him. So if his brother knows that Reece James is on 250 grand a week, he's going to feel like Trent is better than Reece James. So he wants more money than Reece James. That's going to be the point there. You know, Reece James is paid 250 grand a week. And for my money, Trent is a better footballer than Reece James. Reece James might be a better right back, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is a far better footballer. So I think the sticking point is that's the sticking point in that contract. He's going to want world-class money. He'll want to be one of the highest earners at our football club at 25 years of age. He'll want a big deal. He'll want a 5-year contract, and he'll want big money. If Mo Salah's on 350, Virgil, I believe, is on 220, then you're looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold wanting 250 at the minimum. You got to feel like he's going to want 250 at the minimum. Carvalhal's on 210. So Carvalhal's on 210. Reece James is on 250. So that's euros. So what's that work out? About 190 grand a week, 180 grand a week. Same what Trent's on now. So 250, I'd say. I'd say if Liverpool offered Trent Alexander-Arnold 250 grand a week and a 5-year deal, that puts him as like, I believe that puts him right now as our second top earner at the football club. But I've got a feeling he's going to want. I feel like he's going to want 300 grand a week. That's just me. I feel like Trent wants that 300. He wants that bag. I don't blame him as well. As I keep saying, he's a world-class footballer. He's a world-class footballer doing what he does. And he probably knows he could take his skill set and pretty much go to any team in the world at the top end and probably get paid. So he's looking to Liverpool to pay him. So the 300 grand a week mark, the 250, 300. I think it's going to be between that. It's going to be between 250 and 300. I don't see anything less or anything more. You know, anything more than 300 grand a week, I'd have to say no, Trent. Sorry. But I'm not giving Trent Mo Salah money. Do you know what I mean? Mo Salah is a forward who wins us games of football every single week. I can't give a right back Mo Salah money. I just can't. I couldn't do that. But Reece James is on 250 a week. I think that's where you put Trent. Same as Reece James, 250 a week. And you got your talent there. Yeah, 275. Could see that. Defenders don't get paid 300 grand a week. I agree. It's very unlikely that they do. But Trent, I just think Trent's an anomaly, if that makes sense. I just think he's not really a right back, but he plays right back and he's got world-class qualities on the ball. So Virgil's a world-class defender because he's a defender. I wouldn't say Trent is a world-class defender. I think he's a world-class footballer who does things on the ball that not a lot of other people can. So because of that, he might get the money, because I feel like he would get that money if he went elsewhere because of them footballing qualities he has. If that makes sense. Might not make, I don't know if that makes sense, but I think Trent's arguably the hardest one to sign up. I think big up Phil. How you doing? Well, man. Who else in the chat? Big up Paul. Big up Steve. Red Armchair. Never walk alone. Hope you're good. LSC Shankly. Yeah, I sort of agree, man. Big up Andre as well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Trent. I think he does as well. I think he does as well. Yeah. Look, I agree, but that's not how Trent's agents go look at it, though, is it? That's the problem. Big up Trigger, how you doing well? Big Assad, nah, Trent's got to humble himself to take that 250. 250 sits right with me. 250 does sit right with me. I think the club will make the right decision, and so do I. Bit Anthony says Mo Salah deserves what he gets, 100% game winner. As his aging, his game is evolving. Goal scorer, turning playmaker. Trent creativity is great, but defensively he's a bit yikes at times. You never walk alone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, do you just, because Trent's an anomaly. It's so random. You have a player like Trent that plays right back. Because if we talk about right backs, we're talking about defenders. But Trent's not a world-class defender, but he's a world-class footballer doing what he does creatively with the football. So do you have to pay him for that, or do you pay him because he's a defender? How do you pay? How do you go? That's why I think Trent's one's a bit. It's easier doing the Mo Salah contract and the Virgil contract, if you ask me, because Virgil's a world-class defender. So you just give him the wage of a world-class defender, up to 300 grand a week for a 2-year deal. Bang, there you go. Mo Salah, he's on 350 grand a week. He's a goal scorer and creator. You can go up to 375, 400 grand a week, 2-year deal. There you go. Makes sense. But with Trent, if Trent's wanting 300 grand a week for a right back, but he's not a world-class right back, but he's a world-class footballer, that might be the anomaly where you have to go, right, because he's a world-class footballer, we can't afford to lose him. Just give him his money. I think that's why Trent's the hardest one to do. I literally think Trent's the hardest one to do because of it. Millsy says, can't believe Slot did it win manager of the month. It's crazy. Yeah, so obviously the Brighton manager got manager of the month, if anyone's seen that. So yeah, the Brighton manager got manager of the month. I believe it's because Slot only played 2 games in August, and his 3rd game was in September against Man United. And I think Brighton played all 3 games in August. I can't quite remember. Someone will have to correct me on that. I think that might be the reason, but I might be wrong. But yeah, it's mad. Bradley is important in the Trent negotiations. I think Liverpool offered Trent a big contract, 200, 250 quid, say take it or leave it. Yeah, could be. 275 maximum. That's out of this world wage for a right back. I agree. Maybe 250k plus. Yeah, that could be it. Like Tone says there, big up Tony. Like the bonuses might bump it up. You know, if you're giving him 250 grand a week, which equals what Reece James earns at Chelsea as an English right back, that's tremendous wages for a right back. Then you can go, right, if you get so many assists a season, appearances, blah, de blah, we top it up to 300. Yeah, that makes sense. That could be it. Trent's injuries could hurt him in negotiations. They could. That's why he's got to keep himself fit. Reece James is 1,000 times better player when he's fully fit, and we what Liverpool 67. I don't quite understand that. Are you saying Reece James is 1,000 times better player than Trent? I'm not quite getting that. I might have misread that, man. Don't need that man. Yeah, Brighton did play Man United and Arsenal, to be fair to Brighton. That's why I don't really like individual awards in a team sport. It don't make sense to me, really. Yeah, like Connor said, it just don't make sense, does it? I hope this is not another season where the Premier League tries to shaft us. No, hopefully not. Hopefully they shaft Man City. That's what we want, man. Rich 29th of February. You know? By the way, I didn't realise it was Friday the 13th today. So big up all you people that into that Friday the 13th stuff. Rich James getting paid to stay injured. I don't think I'm going to give Liverpool 67 the benefit of the doubt there. I don't think he meant what he wrote. I might have read that wrong. I'm not sure, but I don't think he meant it that way. Like he might be meaning that Reece James is a better right back, which, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But I think Trent's a better footballer, all in all. You know, big up Victor in the house. Reece James might be a better defender. But yeah, I don't. Yeah. Jane rumours that the Rock returns. Like, I know something that's going to happen, Connor. That's going to blow people's minds. No, he said a fan's eyes. What the fuck? I don't know. People can make. Sometimes people write things in the chat. They can't quite actually get everything out in the chat. You know, it's sometimes a bit difficult. But yeah, fans times is too much. It is a bit. I can't give them the benefit of doubt. I love giving people the benefit of doubt. Liverpool 670 still in the chat, man. I want to hear from you. I think what he's saying is that Reece James is a better right back, but Trent's a better footballer, which is absolutely fine. I don't mind that analogy. Big up, Theo. Do you think this will have a major impact on our wage structure going forward? Yeah, I think it has to. I think our wage structure needs to move on with the times. The more money we're making, we can afford to give more wages out. You know, we make so much money now as a football club, we can afford to go the extra step in our wages now. And if we want to keep superstars at our club in the future, we're going to have to pay them. This is the thing. It's all right buying Mo Salah when he's 25 years of age from Roma and giving him 150 grand a week. But when he becomes this good, then he needs to be paid 350 grand a week. Look like Luis Diaz, apparently he's on around 70 grand a week, 80 grand a week, yeah? But if Luis Diaz carries on this form that you're showing right now, he's going to need a bigger contract. Trent Alexander-Arnold came through our youth system. It's easier to give him insensitive contracts, smaller deals. But the better he gets and the more world-class he becomes, you need to give players world-class money if they're world-class. Alisson Becker, the best goalkeeper in the world. If his contract comes up, he might want world-class money. We're going to have to pay that. So I think of it, we have to pay our talent the right amount of money. We're going to have to pay our talent the right amount of money. And if it means keeping hold of Trent, but we have to pay maybe what people aren't happy with, but we keep him, then pay it. If we had to do it with Mo Salah, we broke our, I think we've got to break our structure. I think, like, if we got world-class players in our team that we do not want to lose, we got to pay them. And we can do. We've got the money. Our club makes enough money to pay these guys the wages they want. And I'm not talking about pay the average footballer 150 grand a week, 200 grand a week, because some footballers ain't worth that. But Mo Salah's worth 350. A Trent Alexander-Arnold is worth 250. And Alisson Becker is worth 250. A Virgil Van Dijk is worth 300 grand. These players are worth their money. So for me, you just pay them their money. You just pay them their money. Big up, my friend. Big up to you. Yeah, get the likes up, peeps. Let's get the likes up if we can. I'd appreciate it. who would you think one of them would have to extend it by now? Sometimes they announce in game days. Maybe. I feel like Mo Salah will be the first one to sign their new deal. That's I've got no. It's just guesswork, gut feeling. Who does everyone think will sign their deal first? Let me know in the chat. This will be fun. Who does everyone think will sign the new contract first? Mo Salah, Trent, or Virgil? And who do you think goes? Let's have a little game. Who do you think signs their deal first, and who do you think leaves? Does all three sign? Does one leave? Does two leave? Who signs first? I personally feel like this football club right now are making sure that Mo Salah is 100% signed up. I think they see him as the ideal person. Salah, Trent, Verge. I'll just say Salah. Effect notes. Wait, see, yeah. No, I'm not. Believe it or not. Salah, Virgil, Trent in that order. Yeah, I agree. I think we sweat on Trent. VVD and most days Trent goes. All three. I want all three to sign as well. Virgil because he's captain could be. If Mo doesn't get a contract soon, he'll kidnap you. All stays. All three will sign. Salah signs first. Trent to leave, sadly. I think we lose one of the three. I think Salah is the least important. No joke. You think Salah's the least important? I think Trent's the least important. Oh, I'm going to get killed for this now. I'm going to get absolutely roasted for this. Oh, right. I've said it now. I've got to... Right. I think Trent might be the least important because I can go and find another right back to just play right back. But I can't find another Virgil and another Mo Salah. I don't want Trent to leave, by the way. I think I want all three to stay. If I had to just pick one, this is a game of picking one. Oh my God. I would actually say Trent's the least important because he's a right back. And I can go and play. I can go and find a right back. And I don't think Trent will be as integral to this team under Arne Slot like he was under Jurgen Klopp. If that makes sense. I think under Jurgen Klopp, Trent Alexander-Arnold is extremely integral. I don't think Trent is an integral to a Slot team as he was a Klopp team. But I think Mo Salah and Virgil are. Does that make sense? Does that? Oh, I'm going to get battered for this because everyone's going to come for me. But I had to pick one. I had to pick one. You can't find another Trent as an attacking like Trent. You don't. You can't. But it depends how integral. You don't have, is Trent as integral to Liverpool in the Arne Slot system as he was in the Jurgen Klopp system? I'm not sure because it's only been 3 games. We'll have to see the whole season. But can I go and buy a right back that can play right back that's a more defensively better right back than Trent, but then go and buy a midfielder like Zubimendi, who then can do on the ball what Trent does a little bit? Maybe not as well, but he can do that stuff on the ball as Trent can, like McAllister can, and then keep Salah, who I can't buy a better right winger or Mo Salah in the market right now. And finding a Virgil replacement is going to be extremely difficult. Oh, God. I want all 3 to stay, by the way. I don't want any of them to go. But if I had to pick one, yeah. If I had to pick one who's integral, yeah. Yeah. I think some of you agree. I love Trent, by the way. I think Trent's a world-class talent on the ball. But can I find a better right back? Yes. Can I find a better footballer than Trent? Maybe not. But Salah at 32, it's about longevity, though, because Salah's 32 and Virgil's 33. Mo and Trent's 25, obviously. So for longevity, you'd keep Trent, obviously. Short term, yeah. 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 I don't know. I want all three to stay. I'm just going to put that out there. But if I had to pick one, that'd be my reason. That'd be my thing. We can buy a better right back than Trent, but as a footballer, I will keep saying this. Trent is a world-class footballer, but I don't think he's a world-class right back. But he's a world-class footballer. So he gets away with a lot at right back because he's a world-class footballer. But I think I can find a better right back, but maybe not a better footballer. If that makes sense. I'm only picking one. It's a game of picking one. I don't want to lose any of them, for goodness sake. It's just a game of picking one. We played a game of picking one person. Some of you guys picked Mo. Some of you guys picked Trent. Some of you guys picked Salah. I picked Trent. It is what it is. I want all three of them to stay, for goodness sake. Bloody hell. Like I'm sitting here going, oh, I'll be happy if Trent left. I'll be pissed off, man. I'll be pissed off if Trent left. Trent's got, if Trent continues playing the way he does, he's going to be integral, obviously. But, yeah, that was just if I had to pick one. Yeah. I had to pick one. Common sense would say if Trent or any other team interested in signing, they would have been sold. Yeah, very true. For me, he's the best right back in the world. So if he's not world class, there are no world class right backs. I mean, this is everyone's opinion, guys. Everyone's allowed it, man. I call Trent a world class talent. He's a world class player. I mean, I've not dismissed him in any kind of way. I've said he's a world class footballer. That's why I love what he does on the pitch. When he gets hold of the ball, he moves that ball, the way he moves that ball, and the way he can pass that ball and manipulate the ball with his feet. He's very good in his left foot as well. He's exceptional in his left foot, exceptional in his right foot. Set pieces, open play passes, short passes, long balls, crossing, outside the foot, inside the foot. Trent's got it all in his locker. He's one of the best passers of a ball in Europe, full stop. So as a talent, I am world-class talent. No doubt about it. Trent's brother calls him McManaman on Twitter. So it's either a joke or something we don't. Yeah. Yeah, so for me, Trent's a world-class talent, maybe just not a world-class defender. Let's put it that way. Because at the moment, look, we've got to remember, Trent's a right back. And right backs are defenders. So I wouldn't call him a world-class defender, but I'd call him a world-class footballer. I think we'd all agree with that. Definitely. Yeah. And if I want all three to stay, I'm hoping all three stays. I just don't see it happening. I don't know what it is. I think one will go. I just feel like one will go. I just want all three. I'd love Trent to sign a long-term contract, but I think the sticking point is going to be the wages with Trent and how much he wants. If he wants if the rumours are true and Trent wants 300 grand a week, I just don't know if this club are going to give Trent 300 grand a week. I really don't. I just can't see Trent leaving, though. I can't see Trent leaving Liverpool. I can see Mo and Virgil leaving Liverpool. I just can't see Trent leaving the football club. I really can't. If Virgil left the football club, Trent's going to be captain. More than likely. You're probably looking at Trent as the next captain of the club. He's going to captain his club that he loves and supports and plays for. That's the biggest honour to a Scouser you can get, is captaining your football club as a Scouser. So maybe that's why Trent stays. Maybe it's Virgil goes. Because he's 33. Who knows? We're going to be talking about this all season until they bloody sign them deals or we get some acknowledgement. Wow. Massive super chat. Big up, my friend. Wow, big up to you. W's in the chat, guys. W's in the chat. That is Edward Joseph 1808. Massive super. Much love, my friend. Much love. I mean, that's that. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the super, man. Really do. Really, really do. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. There's a big super chat. He says, hi. Reality is we need all three. They're unique and contribute differently to our setup. Great point. And I have a feeling Slot needs them for 2 seasons. First to see the setup, second to rebuild where they where needed, and they stay beyond their older 2 bonuses for us. Big up, man. Great super chat. W's in the chat, guys. W's in the chat for Edward Joseph 1808. That's a superb super chat, and I really appreciate that, man. I'm not sure what the currency is. Big up, Edward Lowe. I think it might be lira. Is that lira? I'm not sure. But big up, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, massive super chat, man. Yeah, like W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to leave that. It might be Indian rupees, actually. I think it's Indian rupees. Might be rupees. India rupees, Bunny says. There you go. It doesn't matter anyway. It's a beautiful super chat. It's beautifully written. I want to leave it on the screen for a minute and just give him his... yeah, he deserves it, man. Yeah, big up, man. To everyone, big up Edward in the chat. It's a great super chat. Big up. And what he says is true as well. He says, in reality, we need all three. All unique and contribute differently in our setup. And I have a feeling Slot needs them for 2 seasons. First to see the setup, second to rebuild where needed. They stay beyond the older 2 bonuses. There you go. It's a great super, and he makes great points in there as well. So, yeah. Edward, if you're still in the chat, big up to you, man. Thank you very much. Sorry, Jamie. Trent wants close to 500k a week. Surely not. Surely not. 500k a week. No, I mean, he can go. I mean, I'm not paying Trent 500 grand a week. No. No, that's super. It's in purple. So if it's a purple super chat, it's over 50 quid, guys. It's a big super chat. It's a big super chat. Big super chat. Yeah, it's in purple. Purpley pink. Well, a purpley pink colour, whatever that colour is. That colour is £50 and over. So that's a big super chat from Edward. So we appreciate the love, guys. We appreciate the love, especially from Edward Joseph 1808. That's a great Superman. If the 500k is true, thanks, Trent, and good luck for the future. Yeah, man, 500 crown week needs to pack his bags if that's the case. Yeah, Trent's not getting harder than money. No, he's a defender. Oh man, it's madness. That's madness. Absolute madness. That's hard on wages. Yeah, Trent, pack your bags then. Yeah, look, if he's asking for that, then obviously. Jamie K Mac also said that Trent wants 500k. No, I'm not. No, surely that can't be true. That must be just rumors out there somewhere that's floating about that someone's got hurt hold of and made it a reality. I don't think it's true. There's no way in hell Trent is asking for 500 grand a week. He's a right back. No matter how good of a talent he is, at the end of the day, he's a defender. No, it can't be true, man. It can't be true. No, I don't believe it either. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. No. But yeah, big up to my man, Edward Joseph W's. Big up to you, man. Great super. Big super. Big up Jem for the memberships as well and becoming a new member as well. And big up to all you guys in the comments. You guys have been fantastic. You guys have been fantastic. Love all of you. Guys, I'll be back this evening at 9 o'clock. This video right now is going to end and it's going to send you over to my new video at 9 p.m. if you could all go and just leave a like on that straight away and get the likes up to about 50 before we go live, I'd appreciate it. So this is going to redirect you to my 9 o'clock show, guys. Go over there and hit that like button straight away. Let's get 50 likes before we go live. I'd appreciate it. Guys, I'll see you at 9 p.m. Bye-bye.